It will be joining us here physically in Lesotho. Thank you so much, sir. Welcome.
Okay, so thank you for inviting me. I'm going to try to say some words in your language. Hope it's correct. I found it on the internet. Morong, Dumelang, Kenakakhocho, Lebicho Lakake Ilias, Ketsba Greece, Kelula Thessaloniki. Now I'm going to say it in English because I know that it's better. So good morning, everybody. Hello, welcome. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Elias. I'm living in Thessaloniki, Greece, and I'm glad to be here with you. My agenda will be as follow. I'm going to spend around 2 minutes to talk about me, about my past, how I started, how I came here, and now I'm a champion innovator. We're going to do a small intro, not actually a small, maybe 10 to 15 minutes on Gen AI, LLMs, Gemini, terminology, give the definition of machine learning AI. I know that you are a TensorFlow user group, but in order for me to know that you can understand me, we're going to round up everything. Then we're going to talk about Google AI Studio and how you can work there with Gemini. And of course, the fun will begin at the end with Vertex AI and Gemini. And in the end, we're going to have some questions for me. If you have, please, if you have technical questions and we don't have a lot of time, just text them to me and I'm going to answer back. If it's not a technical question, I will try to do my best. So, about me. I'm a full-time family man living in Thessaloniki, Greece. I have two kids. Actually, they are not kids anymore. My son is 20, 21. My daughter is 18. And yes, we have a dog. We adopted our dog 14 years ago. My career, I didn't start as an engineer, as developer. My career was, I started as a helicopter pilot for the Greek Army Aviation. I was serving for 19 years. Then I stopped and decided to move to my first love, that was programming, computing. On my free time, I love to do outdoor activities, but most of all, I love to practice kendo, which is Japanese fencing. And my next plans are to become, I don't know, to have more knowledge on the things I love, like Python, Linux, Google Cloud, or cloud in general, quantum computing. I'm trying my best always to find something and to learn more things and not just stay in my comfort area. And that's all. Nope, no, just joking. Okay, we just finished the about me, and now we're going to see about AI, ML, deep learning, Gen AI, LLMs, and Gemini. Okay, so about let's define what Gen AI is. We have, as you can see, the artificial intelligence, and inside AI is the machine learning. Inside there is the deep learning. Inside there is the generative AI, and inside Gen AI is LLMs. Okay, so TensorFlow user group will learn how to write code for everything, not just for LLMs. Okay, but also for Gen AI, deep learning, ML, and AI in general. So, what is AI? AI is the broadest term encompassing any attempt to impute machines with intelligent behavior. Really not intelligent, but they just can do things better than us, faster than us. This can include everything from a simple rule-based system to complex algorithms that can learn and adapt. Machine learning. Machine learning is a subfield of AI that focuses on algorithms that can learn from data. These algorithms don't need to be explicitly programmed for every situation, but instead can improve their performance on a task by being exposed to more data. So we have supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. Then we have deep learning. Deep learning again is a subfield, but this time of ML that uses the ANN, artificial neural networks, with many layers to process information. These neural networks are loosely inspired by the structure of our human brain and can be very effective at tasks like image recognition and NLP. The LLMs are from NLP. Gen AI, we're getting there, which isn't quite as widely used term as the others, is the type of ML that focuses on creating new data like images, text, or even code. I know that after me, Guillaume Blacard is going to talk about it, so I'm so happy that I'm here and talking before Guillaume. So Gen AI uses technique to learn the underlying patterns in existing data and then generate new content that follows those patterns. In a few words, is as you can see here on the slide, Gen AI is when the output is natural language, image, or audio. Gen AI, for sure, is not when the output is a discrete, a number, a class, or a probability. So next slide is this one. Okay, it's simple as that. Y is equal to F and X inside the parentheses. This is how Gen AI works. This is the type, the math type, let's call it. Let's explain that. Y is the model output, what we see, the answer that we are getting. The culmination of this process is the Gen AI's masterpiece. It's fresh, original data that adheres to the prompt specifications that we ask. This could be realistic image generating from a text description or a piece of music composed based on specific genre. So Google is from Google is public available Imagen 3, and there is a great article from Guillaume. I'm going to share it here on the chat. You can read it later, how he uses Imagen 3 and how he's comparing everything. And music composed, I said. Last week, there was an article about a person who was creating music using Gen AI, and he was selling that music. So it was a fraud. They caught him. Now he's paying a fine. So why is the model output? F is the model. It's the model training. Just like an artist studies the masters, Gen AI has been trained on massive data sets. This training allows it to recognize the underlying patterns and the relationships within the data. It's equipped with this knowledge. It can begin to generate new pieces that cohere with those patterns. Finally, we have X, which is the input data. The prompt. It all starts with a prompt. It's a specific instruction or question that ignites Gen AI's creative spark. This could be a simple sentence describing a desired image or a complex set of parameters for generating a novel uh, code or whatever. So the difference in how they work between the Gen AI and the supervised learning is as follows. We have machine learning, supervised learning. We get the training data, we add the label data, and then we get our model, which will be a prediction, a classification, or a cluster. Yes, because we talked about supervised. Then AI, on the other hand, works like this. We get the training code, we put the data of all data types, and we build the foundation model, and then we come and ask our questions, prompt. A Gen AI model could be trained on dataset of images of dogs, and then we can use it to generate new images of dogs. Machine learning supervised can do a classification of the dogs according to their color, or we can have a picture with dogs and cats, and we can ask to cluster how many dogs and how many uh, cats we have inside there. And then we have LLMs. So yes, LLM is the backbone of Gen AI, and as we said, it's a subset of deep learning. The first L, which is the large, refers to two key aspects. The large training dataset. LLMs are trained on massive datasets of text and code, often reaching the petabyte scale. This vast amount of data allows the model to learn complex language patterns and generalize effectively to new situations. And also, the large stands for the large number of parameters. During training, LLMs develop parameters that represent their internal knowledge and understanding of the data. These parameters act as models' memory and learning of the data. These parameters act uh, as memory and learning. And for example, let's say BERT has around 110 million parameters. And every day things are evolving. So I'm not going to give you more examples. Why? Because it changes rapidly. But LLMs are designed, just keep in mind, LLMs are designed for general purpose applicability. This means they can be adapted to address a wide range of common language processing tasks without requiring extensive modification. This versatility stems from the pre-trained on massive datasets. We can pre-train them, we can fine-tune them, but the most important thing when we work with LLMs is prompt. Prompt is a short piece of text that is given to the LLM as an input, and it can be used to control the output of the model in many ways. The prompt in Gen AI is like a conductor's button in an orchestra. It sets the tone, it establishes the direction, and guides the AI towards a masterpiece. It can be concise phrase describing a desired image, a set of parameters for the novel code that we talked previous moment, or even a question that sparks a creative response. Of course, we have hallucinations, but we're not going to talk about them right now. Best practices. Okay, so this is something that I learned while playing with prompts and also from other people that are working with LLMs. First, it's a good idea always to put on top your image, video, or audio. Then to define a role, the role clearly define the role you want the model to take on. Okay, this helps it understand its purpose and adjust its responses accordingly. So I will give you an example later. Okay, then we have the prompt. The prompt. The prompt must have the objective, the context, and constraints if we have any. So objective, let's say, state the goal you want the model to achieve. Is it a Q&A? Is it a doc summarization? Something. Context, provide any background information or relevant data that you have that model needs to understand the task and generate accurate responses. It may include text, charts, I don't know, anything. Constraints. Specify any limitations or requirements you want the model to adhere to, like the length of the response, the format of the output. Okay, so as an example, I was playing with Vertex AI, and I uploaded my kitchen, an image of my kitchen. And then I uploaded also the images of six different chairs with their names from a catalog. It was chairs that my wife found from a catalog. Okay, so for a role, I told Vertex AI, Gemini on Vertex AI, that if you are an interior designer, that's the best solution for me. The objective was for each chair, explain whether it will be appropriate for the kitchen. So it was a recommendation. Okay, it can also recommend things. My codex provide a list with the prices of the chair. So at the end of the catalog, each chair has the price. So I gave the list with the prices and constraints. The explanation should be from lowest to highest price of the chairs. I don't want to spend a lot of money for the chairs inside my kitchen. And I got a great answer. I liked it. My wife didn't like it, so she won, of course. And then we went to another place to buy chairs. And now we're going to great stuff, talking about Gemini. Gemini is built from the ground up for multimodality, reasoning across text, images, video, and code. So Gemini is a family of models. Okay, it's not just one thing. It's a family of models to fit different needs. Think of it as the right tool for the job. There are different model sizes, and each size is specifically tailored to address different computational limitations and application requirements. So we have Ultra, which is the largest model for highly complex tasks. We have Pro. Pro is the best model for general performance across a wide range of tasks. We have Plus. Plus is a lightweight model optimized for speed and efficiency. And last is Nano, and it's a most efficient model for on-device tasks. The largest model for highly complex tasks, okay, Ultra. It's the most capable model that delivers state-of-the-art performance across a wide range of highly complex tasks, including things like reasoning and multimodal tasks. But largest isn't always the best solution. Okay, that's why we have four models. That's why I talk about all of them. Okay, yesterday here in Greece, it was a movie, uh, Fast and Furious. I don't know, 9, 10, 20. So let's say let's compare Ultra with a truck carrying two containers. I don't think that Toretto will go on a car race uh, or the 1/4 of a mile with a truck with two containers. Okay, so imagine that Ultra is this thing. Pro, we often see a trade-off. The biggest models are incredibly powerful, but sometimes a little slower to respond. That's why we have the options to choose what we want. Gemini Pro is designed for a versatility workhorse model. Its performance optimized model that balances for a wide range of applications where you need a model to be capable. So provide a high quality response and be very efficient in providing that response. Then we have Flash. This is a model purposed built to be the fastest and most cost-efficient model yet for a high-volume task to offer lower latency and cost. Mainly when I'm playing to find solutions, I'm using Flash. I need something to get fast and cost-efficient. Okay, then I will try Pro, but I'm playing first always with Flash. That's a tip. So Flash is perfect for use cases where you need the model to provide a response fast. Also, I'm using it when I'm building a customer service chatbot that needs to answer common questions instantly. Okay, you cannot have a chatbot and you have a user asking something and wait for more than 5 seconds, 10 seconds. After that, you've lost your customer, your user. So Plus is there. Also, I'm using it when I'm developing real-time language translation tool that needs to keep up with fast-paced conversations. Again, it's the same. And then we have Nano. Nano is the lightweight member of the family, specifically designed to run directly on used devices, on our mobile phones. We do this through a process called model distillation. A larger model passes its knowledge to a smaller, more compact model. The goal is to learn the most important skills without needing the same fast resources as a large model. And if you want to have a picture, imagine your teacher and you as students. This is how it works. Okay, we have so many things over here. We have a lot of models, versions. Where do we start? How do we choose? So for me, every time when I have this question, I'm thinking for a high level, these three topics: model capabilities, latency, and cost. Because the optimal model isn't one size fits all scenario. Okay, each model, as we've seen, has its pros and cons. So the key factors here of what we choose. First, we need to frame the problem. What do we want to build? Do we want a chatbot, a contact generation tool, a summarization tool? Uh, Depending on these tasks and use cases, might favor different models and capabilities. So that's why I simplified my need in these three requirements. So do we need an image recognition or a text summarization? It's different model over there. Do we need to have a quick response? So it's latency. And what is the cost of the model? Okay, I have it last, but it's not least. Most of the times when you're creating something for you or for one of your clients, cost is number one. Okay, you have a budget and you need to stay inside that budget. Perfect. Now we are going to see the Google AI Studio and Gemini. I'm going to change my sharing right now. Okay, I'm sharing now Google AI Studio. Give me one moment, please. Perfect. As you can see, I have created over here a TensorFlow user group Lesotho. And Google AI Studio is a browser-based editor for prototyping with Gen AI models. Google AI Studio lets you quickly try out models and experiment with different prompts. We can have chart prompts and structure prompts. I'm going to show you in a minute. And what else? Let's see, first of all, our platform over here. As you can see from the right side, we have our model, Gemini Pro, the latest edition, which is 2. If I click here, you can see we have 1 Pro, 1.5. I'm a sub innovator, so you might not be able to see all of these things. Okay, this is the model we are going to work. Tokens, the answer over here, temperature. So temperature is used for sampling during response generation, which occurs with also, okay, let me find it over here, open everything. Let me change to Gemma. Okay, and topic. Perfect. Temperature controls the degree of randomness in token selection. Lower temperatures are good for prompts that require a less open-ended or creative response, while higher temperatures can lead to more diverse or creative results. In other words, if I ask a question, or if I write a prompt, the cat is sitting on, and my temperature is 0, means that it's not going to be creative. So the answer will be on the sofa, on the table, on the bed. But if I say 1 on the other side, it's going to be creative. So my prompt was the cat is sitting on, having temperature 1. It's most creative. And we get an answer like on the lunar waves of the full moon during dawn. So this is the difference. Okay, do you want to be strict and get an answer or more creative? This is what temperature does. Top K, imagine of a bag full of words, and you get the highest tokens of the output. So for me, imagine it like the top 100 of the 80s music chart. So if I say here, I want 15, I'm going to get the first 15 songs. Why? Because we get the top. Top P is the probability of the token. Over here, we have settings. We need to talk about it. Why? Because if you click over here and click the information, you can see that we have free of charge and pay as you go. Now I'm on the free of charge. Free of charge means that Google is using my data to improve their product. I'm okay with that. If you pay, they are not using your data. Okay? Everything is clear over here. If you want, you can get your API key, generate API key. I'm not going to do it, sorry. But we are going to start playing with our Google AI Studio. So in order to do that, let's start by, first of all, writing, creating a new prompt. So they changed something over here. Structure. And, oh, yep. First of all, I'm going to give system instructions. You are an alien that lives on Europa, one of Jupiter notebooks. And we want to ask, I don't know, what's the weather like? As you can see, the temperature here is zero 0.5. It's a good combination if you don't know where to start. If we scroll left, it will be more, let's call it scientific. If you go to the right end, it will be more creative. So this is one question. And maybe we don't like that, and maybe we need to change that. But as long as you have these system instructions, everything that we are asking will be according to these system instructions. While playing here, we need to create a new prompt and write new things over here. So this time, let's say that for system instruction, that you are team an alien that lives on Europa and you need to keep answer under 3 paragraphs long. And again, let's get the question, click run, or just hit enter. And that's it. As you can see, every time, depending on what we are prompting and the system instructions, we get a different answer. We can also have structured prompt over here, where we can upload also an image. So for structured, let's say that, what? Okay, you are a product marketer, and over here we need to have input and output. So for input, let's say product, and for output, let's name it product copy. Um, Old school sneaker, and let's write here these things. Maybe we need a super soft hoodie, and stay cozy. Yep. Also, you can import things if you want, but we don't want to do that right now. You can come over here to actions, and you can see that you can import the examples or then export it. Okay. And let's say that we want, I don't know, don't want that over here. We want a vintage baseball cap, run it, and that's it. What we can do, what else we can do here. So this is something that we can start, structure, unstructure. We can always save it, have it here, or get the code. That's it. You can open, if you click here, it's going to open a collab on your PC, or you can copy it and paste it on your editor, VS Code, Edex, whatever you're using. And that's it for Google AI. Of course, over here, there are more buttons from gallery. Okay, I'm going to look. You can play around. It's free. Don't worry about anything. Let me move now back to my presentation. Perfect. And moving, we're going to talk about Gemini on Vertex AI. There are so many things over here, so many things. First of all, I'm going to move to Google Cloud Console, where I have created uh, a project for today's talk, the TFUG Lesotho. If you have worked with Google Cloud, you need to create a project and add the billing account. That's it. So this is Vertex AI, the dashboard. Okay, this is my project. It's me over here. We're going to see, first of all, Model Garden. Why? Because it's the most interesting thing. Model Garden is the Google Cloud Console NML model library that helps you discover, test, sorry for that, test, customize, and deploy Google proprietary and select your OSS models and assets. So over here, you can see we have categories and description. We have foundation models. When we have the pre-trained multitask large modules that can be tuned or customized for specific tasks using Vertex AI Studio. We have the featured partners, of course, open source models, fine-tunable models, models that you can fine-tune using a custom notebook or pipeline, and task-specific solutions. Most of these pre-built models are ready to use. Many can be customized using your own data. Over here, you have the filter models in the filter pane, specifically specify the following. We have modalities. It's the model that you want to use, like language, vision, tabular, document, multimodal. The tasks you want to perform, the providers, as you can see, there are so many providers over here, and the features, the model you want to have. So there are so many potential things to do over here. I'm glad that all the providers are trying their best to have all the new model versions on their marketplace, on their gardens. Okay. This week we had the announcement of LLama 3.2. It's here. I've seen also other huge providers, big companies, enterprise, saying the same thing. So I'm glad that they're not inside their ecosystem and that's it. No, they are open, and they have also other models over here. And as we said, you need to see what you are going to do and use. Let's see what we can do. So one of them, let's say that we want to have an open source, maybe what else? From Google, why not? Let's open Gemma. As you can see here, we can deploy or open a notebook. I'm going to open it. The first one, let me share the screen. As you can see now, we have everything here, and I can play around, get the code, download the notebook. Of course, I need to enter some things over here, the bucket, the storage, Google Cloud Storage, and other things. I'm going to close it. And I'm going to return over here. So we saw the model garden. Pipelines is for MLOps. Colab Enterprise. When we clicked on the Open Lab, we were redirected over here. And as you can see, the Colab Enterprise. Okay, let's come back over here. Workbench is the notebooks, Jupyter notebooks, the ones that you are working right now. Overview, freeform is the multimodal chat. We can chat, we can write things over here. Like, as you can see over here, we have Gemini 1.5 plus, fast one, temperature, it's okay in the middle. And let's say, always be polite. Okay, that's it. We can clear the conversation. Vision, yes, continue. We can write something and generate an image. I'm not going to do that. The reason that I'm not going to do that is because right now I don't need to generate anything. And yes, AI is here. Yes, we need to embrace that. But always remember that whenever you are doing something, you are using energy. So I'm not going to generate anything right now because when I was a speaker at the We Are Developers in Berlin on June, I learned that when we generate an image, the energy that we are consuming is exactly the same energy we need to charge our mobile phones. So there's no reason for me to do that right now. But I have shared with you a great article from Guillaume about Imagen 3. As you can see, it's the latest model over here, Imagen 3, which is great. Translation, you can write something. I tried to find your language Lesotho, but I didn't find anything. Speech from gallery. If you need anything, you can come over here. Audio, document, let's say, document comparison. Just open it. And you have here two PDFs and you get results. Save prompts. I have my saved prompts here, but sorry, this is my TensorFlow user group Lesotho. I don't have a saved prompt. On my other projects, I have saved prompts, so I don't have anything right here. But let's come over here to the freeform. Freeform is the multimodal. Multimodal prompts are type of prompts for large uh, models that combine multiple input type formats. By formats, we refer to inputs such as text or images, multimodal prompts, and LLMs. So I'm going to do a lot of things right now. Let me move one image, perfect, and let's ask a question. Color is the cut. We can hit. We can come over here. This is the cut. Perfect. So we finish with that. Simple as that. Um, so I can get also the code from here, Python. I can open a notebook again, or I can get my SDK, install it in. There are so many potential, and over here we can close it. Let me clear now this prompt and let's do some, I don't know, classification and ask, yep, I need to wear my glasses. Sorry about that. So we can see, yes, there is a tuxedo cat sleeping. Perfect. You can see that this is easy. Now let's go to recognition. Recognition, I have another image for you. And I'm writing on my text editor over here and pasting because I'm not wearing my glasses. So now I want to give me a list of all the important things it sees in the picture. Oh, great question. A dark blue Google Brady notebook, a white Google pen. As you can see, there are a lot of things. Let's play a little bit with the temperature and say zero point 0.3 and just without change anything, just hit run over here. It changes every time. We're going to clear the prompt. What else? We can do counting. So we want to learn how many cats there are in this picture. 3. Let's go now to more advanced things that we can do over here, like text recognition and reasoning and calculation. So I'm going to ask how much money did we make today in total and explain the reasoning. So over here it says that we made $80 for calendars. Actually, it's 5. There is a mistake. Let me see if we go over here. Let's run it again. Error. Okay, it happens. Live demo. Let's do word codex and reasoning. And let me get another image for you. This one, which I love it. So we took this picture. We don't remember what time it was. It's in Paris. I don't remember that, but I think it was in Paris. Yes. So this is everything that we can do. What else? Okay, let's clear this thing and go to another one. And now let's ask to write a haiku about this photo. But I want to be more creative with my model. Let's run it again. Hmm, Okay, not so much names. And let's see if we can have a logical progression. Okay, let me put this thing here. And this is some test to get your IQ. Check a hexagon. And it's saying why. It's explaining. This is the reason. Okay, explain why. We start with 3 sides, 4 sides, 5 sides, and that's it. Let's clear prompt and what else? Okay, Let's see if it can understand the words and interpret with that. Perfect. As you can see, for writing, we have the paper. For scarf, we have the fabric. This is things that we can do, but also we said that it is a multimodal. Again, I'm inserting media right now, but not everything that we can do. So this time I want to insert by URL. Up to now I was uploading by URL, and let me get a URL from YouTube. It is a video and insert it. So right now I'm going to ask some questions like what kind of sport is this? First of all, let me open it for you. Perfect. Let me close it. Let's see the answer. This is Kendo. Exactly. My sport. Uh, there is a song in the background, so I don't remember what song was there. Let me move it to one over here. Again, it's flat. We want fast answer. We need to wait a little bit, of course, because it's searching the whole video to understand. Perfect. It's they get your life back from distortion tamers. And what else? Let's see on the video somewhere we have the name of the people that the kids that won. So it's searching all the video to find the answer. It's amazing. Okay. For me, I had to go step by step on the video to find the winners, to find if we have anything. So first place, second place, and third place. As you can see, we can do so many things over here. Let me move to my presentation. And what else? So to stop here. But yesterday there was an announcement about Vertex AI Prompt Optimizer. Okay, so Prompt Optimizer. I already talked about how to structure your prompt. These things is okay if you are using it outside of Google Cloud, outside of Vertex AI. If you're using Vertex AI Prompt Optimizer, your life is going to be easier. That because let's first of all talk about the prompt design and engineering. It stands out as one of the most approachable methods to drive meaningful output from an LLM. However, prompting LLMs can feel like navigating a complex ways. Okay, I decided to remove the ways that I have over here and put the Hogwarts stairs because Maggie Smith died yesterday. She was playing the Professor McGonagall. That's why we have now this thing. And so you must experiment prompting how to write it. Okay. I told you some tips. First image, audio, video, then this thing, then the other, then things with that. But experimenting with various combinations of structure and examples to achieve the desired output, it's okay, but it's as we say, it's working on my PC, but it's not working anywhere else. It might work on a model, but it cannot work. It might not work somewhere else. So Vertex AI prompt optimizer helps you find the best prompt, instruction, and demonstration for any preferred model on Vertex AI. Okay, so if you're working on Google Cloud, Vertex AI, Gemini, and you're using anything else on Vertex AI, you can have prompt optimizer. So let me go back. Don't see anything over here. I'm going to change and save prompts. So I have a prompt over here. It's not big enough to optimize it, refine it. So let's run this and refine the prompt. As you can see, you get all these things. And if you click optimize, you are going to optimize your prompt further. Let's come back here. This is a bonus because why? Because it was announced yesterday. It's public available for everyone from yesterday. I don't know if I have time. And no, I don't have any more time. So let me stop presenting. I'm open for your questions. Do you have any questions for me? You can write it on the chat or you can turn on your camera and unmute yourselves. Nothing?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We still have 4 minutes for questions, so we're opening for questions now. Thank you so much, Mr. Elias, for your insightful talk. So, uh,
Anyone? Any question?
I think I have. There is Mr. William is asking some. He wrote how many it cost. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, Guillaume, I don't know. I'm checking the documentation. I read the article today, so I had 30 minutes to do my best and put everything here. I don't know about the cost. I need to find it on the Google Cloud documentation.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So, maybe for other people who have questions, um, they can share them with me so that I send them to you so that you can be able to prepare to leave. Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We are looking forward to having more sessions with you. Yes. Thank you
It
so
will be
much.
my pleasure.
Yeah, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much, sir.
Bye.
Bye. So that put us to our first talk, the our first talk to an end. So thank you so much, Mr. Elias. This was so insightful. And then we're going to our next speaker, who is Mr. William. He's a Google developer expert and also Google Cloud architect. So he will soon share his screen as well. And then welcome, sir. Welcome so much, sir.
Hello everyone. Indeed, let me share my screen, all windows, because I have some demo for you. Yes, like this. So perfect. Can I start? I know that I'm 1 minute earlier than expected. Can I start now? So yes, I will take the blank bio, yes. Okay, so thank you everyone to be here this morning. Your morning the same as me in France. It's 10 a.m. also in France. And I will present you how to use Gemini Code Assist with you to code live with you with a live demo of coding and to code with you to develop an API and a UI live. So I'm Guillaume Blaquier. I'm a Google developer expert on Google Cloud. So I know very well the platform and I'm specialized in the data, serverless, and security part of this whole platform. I can't be expert on the whole platform, but I know little bit the rest, but especially well the serverless and the data on Google Cloud. And I'm also a data architect at Carrefour. Carrefour is one of the major retailer in Europe and in the world, like Walmart, for example. And we have a lot of country and store, especially in South America and North Africa. So now my session is about Gemini, and I'm sure Ilias just before me present you what's Gemini. In fact, Gemini is the large language model, the flagship of the large language model for Google. So all the smart brain of Google are here, and Gemini has has a lot of capabilities, and Gemini will try to solve the developer issues or bottleneck or pain points. These bottlenecks are many, and if you are a developer, I'm sure you know them. When you onboard a new member in your team, it will be slow. It's slow because the new member do not know your habits, do not know your way of developing, your way of commenting your code. He do not know your best practices. He has to discover different pieces of code, the modules, and so on. So it's very slow for new people to be efficient in your project. And because you pay for these people to develop, if it's slow to be efficient, you waste money like that. Also, when you develop, if you are a developer, you have often need to check or to get external help. When I'm speaking about external help, is I would like to develop, I don't know, concurrent process or function in Python. I don't know how to do it. I know it exists, but I don't know how to do it. So you need to go to Google search. You search for this question, then you go to Stack Overflow. It's not the right place. You go to Medium and to find an article, and you find a piece of code. You copy paste this piece of code. You put it in your IDE. Then you customize this piece of code to develop it. So you need to change in many tabs, many windows on your computer, and you lost a lot of time like this context switching, and it's very time consuming for you and the developers. And finally, the last one, and for me it's the most painful part of my developer life, is the maintenance and the tech debt. Maintenance and tech debt are painful because there is no value. It's boring to achieve. I remember a migration from Angular, I think it was Angular 3 to Angular 8 or 7, I don't remember. The Angular API has changed, and we need to go on over all our files to perform the same change, to only change the name of the API that change between the version. And in fact, you have a lot of repetitive tasks to achieve. And if something is better for a machine, can do it automatically for you, and you only have to check and to validate and to test your code, it could be better than to have to do it manually, because human make mistake. That's the first problem when you are tired to do always the same thing over 1 week because you have hundreds or thousands of files to update. If the machine can do it for you, it's much better. So Gemini Code Assist is Gemini, the core Gemini, but fine-tuned for code and to answer this question, this problem directly when you are developing in your IDE. So most of the time, when I'm performing this session, I'm traveling and I'm not at home. And because I'm not at home, I'm traveling with my laptop provided by my company. And my laptop is a Chromebook, and on my Chromebook I can't develop. I'm developing when I'm at home because most of the time I'm working remotely. And at home I have a desktop. Okay, like here it's perfect. I have a camera, a microphone. It's great. But when I'm traveling, I don't have that. And how I'm doing that when I'm traveling? In fact, I'm developing in my browser, and you can use different solution. And Google develop mini solutions around this uh, developer in mobility or mobile, not mobile, yes, developer in mobility to be able to develop anywhere, anytime, uh, when uh, when you want. So for that, Google has developed tools for you to help you to develop anywhere. And it started in 2016 with Cloud Shell. So it could be normal or stupid for you to have a Cloud Shell, but 8 years ago, it was the first cloud provider to propose this. I think it will be in 2019 or 2020 when AWS proposed the same thing. And in fact, Cloud Shell is only a simple Linux terminal directly accessible in your browser. It would be magic because you can run any Linux command directly in your browser, a gcloud command to interact with your cloud. It could be Python, Java, Go, JavaScript, and whatever you want. All these packages was installed on this terminal, and it was very easy to use anywhere. Then, because Google was focused on developer experience, they also developed a plugin for IntelliJ and VS Code named Cloud Code, and this plugin is still active. And it helps you to integrate it to your IDE and help you to speed up your development with some shortcuts to the cloud. Then in 2020, Cloud Shell Editor. This time it's a real IDE. It's not a Linux command line. It's a real IDE, and I will show you it just after because I will develop with this Cloud Shell Editor. And it's like a light VS Code running directly in your browser. In 2023, in fact, it's the evolution of Cloud Shell Editor that will be a free and open solution. And it's very, very interesting for companies. But Google decided to release an enterprise version of Cloud Shell Editor named Cloud Workstation with a private VM, private network, private disk. So all the private things that company would like to have to be sure that their data and their line of code are secure and only accessible from the company and by the company. And also in 2023, just last year, Gemini has been released everywhere on Cloud Shell Editor, on Cloud Code, on Cloud Workstation. You can now use it everywhere. You can also use Gemini also in your Google Cloud console. It's named Gemini Cloud Assist. Cloud, not code. It's Cloud. Gemini Cloud Assist, and you can have some help on your console. I can show you some example on it if you want. And now Gemini is really everywhere on Google Cloud and Google Workspace on your cell phone. So Gemini is really everywhere. Just an additional things also released earlier this year. It's a project IDX. It has been released by Google, not Google Cloud. This time is Google. I don't know how this project will be complement or replace some feature that I presented just before. It's also an IDE in the cloud with the feature to run stuff. So I don't know exactly the place of Project IDX in the picture, but just to present you that Google has many initiatives to make the developer experience and the developer mobility a reality for everyone. So I have the LLM, I have the browser, both browser and the IDE. So now, what's the demo? Because we are here for live demo, in fact, and this live demo contains several items. The first one, I will create an API because it's modern and easy to create. I will then create an HTML page to test this API, because sometimes it's better to have a form on a browser than to have a curl command to enter. I will create a container to describe this container. I will build this container and push it to a registry with a CI/CD pipeline. And then I will deploy the container in many places on Cloud Run, because I like Cloud Run, I like the serverless services. I also deployed this morning, created this morning GKE autopilot cluster. I'm not a big fan and big user of GKE, but I will try to deploy something with Gemini. It's also the idea of the product that if you are not expert in a domain, it will assist you to help you to do what you don't know how to do it. And maybe we'll succeed to deploy something on GKE this morning. And in bonus, if you have some time and during the presentation, I'll present you how to generate unit tests directly from your code, maybe to generate also Terraform code, and maybe the do's and the don'ts, because sometimes you can use or misuse the GenAI. Last word, because before jumping in the demo, just a disclaimer, it's a generative AI, so it's generative, as Ilias just presented before. Sometimes it does not work as expected, and even if you repeat and repeat and repeat your demo, because it's generative, sometimes it works and sometimes not. Again, my demo is not a wonderful demo and the revolution. I would just like to show you how Gemini Code Assist can help you in your development process. The content of the API, the design of the UI is not the purpose here. It's only how the machine can help you in your usual operation action when you are developing your code. So now let me jump to the Cloud Shell that I have here. Let me zoom a little bit because it would be, I think it could be good for you. If it's too small, let me know. So here I'm in Cloud Shell UI. I can see my file here. I don't have any file in my folder. I have here Gemini Code Assist button. I have Git source control with Git if I want. I have a debugger. So I have all my IDE environments, and you are familiar with VS Code. It's pretty the same display. So now we'll start to create an API. So here I can do something that is not good. I will ask to create an Hello World API and submit it. And it's something that you never have to do it. Why? Because you ask this to someone, not a machine, to someone, to human. He can answer you in the language that he wants. Here it's Python, so why not? I will perform my demo in Python, because I'm sure if you are data scientist, because it's a Keras community, I'm sure you are more familiar with Python. But it's not obvious that Python is the most popular language for the people that you discuss with or for your team. In addition, when you are submitting something to Gemini here, to Gemini Code Assist, it submits your prompt here, what I'm enter here, this prompt here. I will copy it. And it also submits your context. And the context here is the previous discussion with Gemini. And it's also the file open here, maybe the tree structure of your code. So Gemini Code Assist will send many information to in context to provide you a better understanding of and better description, a better result, outcome, output of what you had to achieve. Just an example here, I will delete the context here, and I will create a main.go file. So here, not here, here I have a Go file, and it asks exactly the same question here. And because now I have a main.go file, and it's a blank file, it's empty, but I have a main.go file open in my IDE, it is sent as context to Gemini, and because it's Go, here I have a Go context, a Go code to create a hello world in Go. So according to the context, Gemini will answer you differently. But the best solution here is to say, create an hello world API in Python, and here you have no doubt of what you have to do. So now let me create a main.py file like this, and I will get an answer perfect with Flask. Excellent. Okay, here I have my hello world. Maybe I will have some, here, how to run it. So I don't name hello, I'll name it main.py. So I will did it Python main.py to run it. Okay, it run. So now let me perform a curl command to test it. So I won't go there. I will just curl it. I will copy it and curl like this, and okay, it worked. Okay, in a few lines, okay, my hello world worked. So it wasn't too difficult, but it's only the startup of my project. I interacted here with the chat. As you can see, the chat is pretty long because you are sending a lot of context to the chat. The chat is processing and answering you after. So it took a long time because it processed a lot of context. Now you can also use Gemini Code Assist directly in your code by interacting with comments and in comments. But here I will create here a Fibonacci endpoint. Yeah, like this. And I will let automatically Gemini propose me something, a new route, and maybe a code completion, can force it to generate code completion. Here, okay, I have Gemini. I'm not sure that's the correct one. I don't know why he created a factorial. Okay, I don't need this factorial. I only need the Fibonacci endpoint. And I'm not sure that it works. I'm not, honestly, I'm not a Python developer. I prefer to develop in Go. But yes, I will trust Gemini, and maybe it works or not. So I will restart my server here because it stopped. Okay, and then because I'm a lazy guy, I will ask, give me the curl command for Fibo. And you can notice here, I didn't ask for Fibonacci, like here. I just mentioned Fibo, but Fibo and Fibonacci are pretty similar, and the matching is great. So here I have this this curl command here. That's perfect. Okay, and I will ask for a curl command to Fibonacci of, I don't know. Oh, what is? Okay, then this work doesn't work. Yes, okay, it does not work. Honestly, I don't know why this code is pretty strange. A list or edit. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's happened here because I find this formula pretty strange. But okay, no worries. It's not a problem. We don't waste time with Fibonacci. Just okay. Maybe if you are a Python developer, you will know what's happened, but it's not my case. So no worries. I will just continue on the demo. So okay, now here I have a simple API. It's not really useful. I have two endpoints, the hello world and the Fibonacci. And I would like to have something more useful, maybe to manage users and to create, delete, list users. So I will ask again Gemini, create an API that creates lists, deletes users. I will name the attribute user, it's a name, it's an email. Okay, and because I don't have any database right now, I will ask to keep the user list in memory. And I will see if it's do what I expect or not. I don't know what happened here. So, as I said, it took a little time because my file is sent, the context is sent. So you can see that here I have my user endpoints, the users with a post, user with a get, user with a delete. And I think that's okay. I will copy that. I will copy this and I will remove my existing API and replace it by that. Okay, yes, it's okay. Okay, so great. Okay. Now I have an explanation of why. Not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure that JSONify is required here, but let's continue and let Python and Gemini guide me here. So now give me the curl command to list, create and delete a user. And so let me go there. I will restart my API. We are okay here. And yes, let me check if this one work or not. I will list the users. Normally, the list is empty. Okay, it work. Now the curl to create something is very. I don't have the full command. Oh, okay. I will have to compose it. No problem. I have a first part here. Then I have the header here. Sometimes the command is full, sometimes the command is split like that. So as I said, it's generative and sometimes it's not always consistent and repeatable. Okay, we need continue like that. Yes, I will do it. Good. Okay, user created successfully. Okay, good. So if I list again the users, yes, the user exists. And now if I perform a curl, okay, a curl and a delete. Okay, the command are here. My bad. Okay. Yes, it's better like this. Okay, deleted successfully, and I see. Okay. Now my API is working well because I can create, delete, list the users, and so perfect. As I said, I created my API. Now I would like to create a HTML page to visualize the users and also to create them directly in a HTML page. So again, I will ask what I would like to achieve with that. So create an HTML page that lists the users in a table. On each row, add a delete button. So sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. So I will create a file name index.html. So if you are using Flask, you should know that you have to add this file in a static folder. Yes. And now I have something working or not. I don't know. So I will click on plus here just to add the whole script here. Let me go through it. I have the ID, the name, the email. Here it's the body. Yes, I will use it. So I'll just remove here the full the full URL. Okay, the users, and I will load the users here. Okay, and I will delete the users again like this, delete, and okay. So now I need to serve this HTML page. So I will use it here, code completion. I will say serve the HTML page, and magically, hop, it works out of the box from the static directory here. That's why it's important to put the index.html in the static directory. And so let's see if it's work or not. So here I have a magic button to have a web preview. So I click on it. I can change the port because you can see that the port is 5000. So I will put it like this, change port and preview, and yes, I have an empty list. Let me add with curl command a user. Where is it? Like that. And let me check if I can refresh the page. And yes, I have my user. I can delete it, and again it works. Cool. My user list is working, but I need to add my users by API. So let me add what I would like to do directly in the HTML. So now I can use code completion for that. After the table, for example, I can add a form, and you can see the magic of Gemini. It discover or understand faster than me that he would like to achieve. I would like to add a user form. Yes, okay. Add it. Okay, you can add a text, an email, and button. Okay. I'm sure there is an issue because I need to provide also an ID here. So I need to add here an input like not a password, name, email. So I will change it, type text like this, and it will be a ID input. Okay, and the placeholder is ID like this. Okay, add user button. Okay, perfect. And then in the script part, oh, sorry, I lost my mouse here. I will write a command to, okay, I didn't have the time to think about how to ask Gemini to add a user that he proposed me to do it. Okay, do it for me because you are faster than me. Generate the code like this. Okay. I have this. I have an alert message, and I post in JSON, this JSONify with ID, email. I think that's the same. Okay, I'm sure it works. And then if the response is okay, I'm clearing the different field, and I'm refreshing the users by load users that are here. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me refresh the page and test it. Okay, I have a new field. Oh, so let me make it bigger. What my name? Guillaume. My email will be this one, and my ID will be 5. Okay, and I add it. Oh, it works immediately. Can I delete it? Delete button doesn't work. I don't know why. I have some issues. 404. Okay. Maybe an issue in my code. Why it does not work? Does not exist? The ID is 5, so I don't know why it does not recognize my my user here with the user ID. So maybe something here in this evaluation. I don't know what because as I said, not it's here. It's not the get. It's the delete. Again, I don't know why. This type of formula in Python is quite mysterious for me. I'm not sure to be able to read it very easily and simply. So no worries. It not work exactly as expected, but so you have the basis, and you can iterate and improve your code like that. I will say the most of the structure of your code has been generated automatically. You know what to do and how to achieve the things. You need to fine tune and to customize the code to be sure that it perfectly fits of what you expect and what you would like to achieve, and it will work in the end. So now, next part, I would like to create a container. Okay, I will ask here, create a Docker file to package the code in a container. Okay, and I will create a Docker file like this. Okay, I'm just waiting for an answer here. So it took 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, Python 3.9, why not? Install the requirements. Oh, I don't have any requirements. What I need, I think, in my code only Flask is required. So I will only ask Flask. Let me check back to my code. I think only Flask is imported here. Yes, only Flask. So just to fine tune again my Docker file. Again, you can see that the port is the right one and the name of the file is also the right one. So I have nothing to do more. Now I would like to package and push my code to with a CI/CD pipeline. So on Google Cloud, you can use Cloud Build to perform this CI/CD pipeline. So again, I will ask create a Cloud Build YAML file to build and push the container. So here, of course, it doesn't know my project and my location of my registry, but I will just fine-tune the outcome, the output. Here, I will create a Cloud Build, yes, like that, .yaml file. Yes, good. Here, I will copy paste it. Perfect. And typically, here it won't work. Here it's only gcr.io, and that's all. That's why I need to fine tune my registry like this. Okay, great. We name my container like this. Why not? Gemini, my Flask app. Okay. Okay, so why not? Does that have the command line to run it? Yes, I have it. Right, wonderful. So if I run it, it won't work because I need to set my project, gcloud config sets projects to set the gcloud project to use to build my container. Is named gdg leon-cloud run. And it's cool. And then I'm running my CI/CD pipeline, and I'm sure it will work in the end. So now I will create something new and different this time. I will create a command.sh file because when I'm developing personally, I'm creating this kind of file. And instead of always asking Gemini in the chat to have an answer, because sometimes it's long and boring to wait, I prefer to have only code completion. And I'm using code completion like this. I'm using gcloud command to deploy a Cloud Run service in the Paris, yes, FR region. Just a spoiler, up to now, the Paris region has been always wrong when the command line has been generated. But every time I'm presenting this demo, I will have a try. Maybe I will have an update on the Gemini Code Assist to pick the right region. To deploy a Cloud Run service in this region with this container image, and I need to copy paste the container image. It's this one here. Let me copy it and paste it, and allow all users to access the service. Maybe it's okay for it. And as for the generation, Okay, what I have here, I have my Flask apps as the name of my service. I have my image here. I have the region, that's not the right one. Paris is the 9. West, what's this? Okay, no, okay. West 9, okay, Paris is West 9, so no worries, it doesn't work. Platform manage, okay, here, what I have? Hello, unauthenticated, no traffic, no, I would like the traffic. Ingress all, I didn't care, okay, didn't care of that. Okay, here I have my gcloud command to deploy my container, so that's great. I will deploy my container here. I hope it works. Ah, I forgot something. Because here I only ask the command line directly in the to perform a code completion. The whole context of my file has not been sent, and if I deploy this command line, it won't work. Let me check if it's smarter to do the same here in the chat. Let me check if it works or not. No, not better. It's not better because here I have this in the context. In fact, I need to add the ports. I need to add the port 5000 that on which the API is listening. Here by default the port 5000, so I need to add it here in the command line. So now I think it will work. I hope. I will see. Okay, that's right. I will let this deployment normally in a few seconds. It's enough. That's the magic of Cloud Run. Is the revision creation takes time. It won't work. It does not smell good. So I'm sure I know why. Yes. Okay. The problem I think is the following. Let me go back to Python. I'm not expert in Python, but I saw that sometimes I have this issue. Here, when I expose the API, I expose it only on the local network. I mean, in the 127.0.0.1. And I need to specify here the host that to be 0000 to listen to all the network interface on the service. So let me stop here. I need to rebuild, of course, my container. But while my container is rebuilding, I will deploy this on GKE. And again, absolutely not an expert on GKE, so no problem. I will ask create a K8s for Kubernetes deployment for the container. Do I have my container name? Yes, here. And expose it publicly. Deployment, YAML deployment for the container. Yes, I will try to generate it, and maybe to generate a deployment.yaml. Maybe it will work. You can try a lot of things. So here my container has been created again. So let me try to deploy it again to be sure that it works better now, because if it does not work on Cloud Run, it won't work on GKE also. And again, it doesn't. Yes, it worked. Perfect. So let me test it. Here, I will click here, follow link. Yes, I will open something new again. Okay, I have my page here. I can hide my user. It's Guillaume. My email is this one. Like this. Here, my ID, I will set 1. I'm sure with 1 it will work. Okay, here it's perfect. If I click on delete, okay, it doesn't work. Still doesn't work, but it's consistent with my expectation. So now here on the URL, I'm on Cloud Run, and it worked great. So now here I have my switch back to GKE. I have my deployments. I will have 3 replicas. Yes, 3. Only one is enough. It's a demo. Okay, label, I don't know what's this. My container is this one with the name, the port here. I will expose the service of type load balancer on the port 80. That matches the port 5000 of my container. That's great. And that's my selector. Okay, now do I have some command? Yes, I can. Apply deployments. Yes. So to achieve that, I need to get the credential of GKE. So it's a jcloud. I don't know what it's. Container, it's get credential, something. No, I don't know what it is because, as I said, I don't know. Maybe here, I will ask here. Get the GKE credential with jcloud command. And generate it. Yes, it's this first line. Yes, its name, my cluster is named Gemini. I deploy it in US Central 1. And I don't need this project. For the rest, I don't care about all the code generated, but yes, this one. So I need to copy it, go there, to paste it, and yes, it worked. Just to show you, I just created this Gemini autopilot here. It's a cluster here on GKE. So now just go back here, and I will perform these deployments like this. And okay, I will let the deployment going. Okay. Now, just before finishing the demo, I would like to show you just after the how it works, but I would like to show you two cool things on Google Cloud. Here, for example, I said, okay, I would like to deploy my Cloud Run app. Okay, before. When I'm developing, as I said, I'm using this command.sh file to have a list of commands that are running on Google Cloud to create service account, to create load balancers, to create services, to create a lot of things. So here I can simulate, I would like to create a gcloud command to create a service account Gemini. And normally I will have something for that. Why proposing me a lot of things? Yes, maybe I can give that, keep that like this. Okay, the second one, yes, here maybe I add a permission on this project. So it's a Gemini service account, and I will add this one, not this one. Oh, yes. And what's the role? Okay, I have no role here. Okay, I need to add project, add IAM members. Okay, the command is broken here. Okay, so it doesn't work because the command is broken. Okay, if I'm doing that, normally it should do better things. No, I don't want to perform code completion here. Okay. So I will let it generate what it wants, but as I said, yes, it's broken. It's broken. I will show you why. Like this. Okay, here when you want to grant a member, here you are on the project, you need to mention the project here, like this. That's why the command is broken. And then you need to specify the role that you want to add here. The role is this one. Okay, and now it's working. Why I'm showing you that? Because Gemini is able to translate French to Greek to English to something else. Gemini Code Assist is able to translate bash command, gcloud command to Terraform. And for me, it's one of the cool things that you can achieve with Gemini is the fact to select your code. Here I'm creating a service account and I'm generating, granting 2 roles on the service account, and then I will deploy G-Cloud same service. And you can ask from the selected code, generate a Terraform script. And I found that very cool because you can translate literally your bash command to a Terraform script. And here you can see you have your service account created. You have a G-Cloud IAM member, and you add IAM member to the role to the service account, etc. And then you have a Cloud Run service deployed on the location and with the port and so on. So that's a magic transformation from bash to Terraform. Just let me finish with not this. I would like to copy this line here. Yes. To get my IP to test if it's work or not. I have my IP. My external IP is this one. I will have to test if my deployment is okay on Kubernetes. So here it's on Cloud Run. Now in HTTP, here I have my IP, and yes, it works on Kubernetes. Wonderful. I have my deployment again. My name like this. My email again like this, and my ID will be 0 this time. And yes, okay, it worked also. And here it's deployed on GKE, and it was pretty easy for me. And I was totally unconfident, not confident to deploy it. And finally, it worked very great. Not the deletion, but yes, okay. No worries. So just to conclude it, I promised to show you how to generate unit tests. I will generate again my Fibonacci endpoints here. Just would like to show you how to do it. And then you can again select your code here. You can generate unit tests. You have a quick action like this, and it will propose you to test your API. And here you have a unit test, and you can import what you want. You have all the things that you need. You run it, and it works as expected. So that's all for the demo. I show you the Terraform, show you the do's and the don'ts, how to deploy on Cloud Run and Kubernetes. And now just let me conclude with 3 slides. First of all is to say that when you are a developer with Gemini, without Gemini, you need to know a lot of things. And Gemini helps you to be an augmented developer, a developer with assistance, a cool assistant that help you to do what you need to achieve as a developer. Because a developer needs to do a lot of things. First of all, a developer needs to develop, need to code. And to code, you have a development tool. You have languages like Go, Node, Python, Java, etc. You have some frameworks like Vue, Angular, Flutter, Spring Boot, Flask, and others. And you need to know that. You need to know different frameworks. If you are a full stack developer, you need to know a backend framework and language, and a front-end language and framework. You need to have problem with CSS in your code and so on. So when you're a developer, you need to know a lot of things in terms of development, but also in terms of data. If you have a database, a SQL database, Postgres, MySQL, or if you have Firestore, MongoDB, an Elastic database, it's not the same format. If you use BigQuery, again, it's not the same way to optimize your indexes or your query, your partition with BigQuery and then MySQL or with Postgres. So you have a lot of things to know with data. You can use maybe DBT or Dataform to orchestrate your SQL query, how to write them, how to test them. So you need to know a lot of things about the data also. And finally, about the deployment, the infrastructure. Which infrastructure do you need? Do you need to use Bash? Do you need Terraform? Do you need the Kubernetes, a load balancer, maybe Cloud Run, maybe to use Mchart on top of Kubernetes deployment and YAML to deploy your things? Do you use Cloud Deploy, Cloud Build? Do you use Google Cloud or maybe another cloud provider or another way to deploy and to host your applications? So you need to know a lot of things when you are a developer. And if you have an assistant to help you, it's better. And this assistant can help you in all the stage of the SDLC, the software development life cycle. From the design, to know where to deploy my API or what's the best design for this API, how to build. I will show you. I can ask Gemini chat. I can also use the code completion to generate my code. I can test it with unit test. I can deploy it with Cloud Build or with Terraform or with Kubernetes or whatever. And you can also operate it. And I didn't show you in the console because in the console you should also have here a Gemini Code Assist directly here, and you can ask stuff how to optimize my cluster, how Cloud Run scale. And because I have this suggestion here, because I'm in the GKE page, and these suggestions are related to my current page, I'm sure if I go elsewhere on the console and I close it and open it, yes, here what is Active Assist? Because here the context, the suggestions are not the same because my page, the context is not the same here. So you can use also Gemini in the logs to understand your logs and so on. So Gemini is very, very great when you have operation also. And finally, the sixth here is at scale, because it's not only for you, it's for your whole team, it's for your whole company to use it and to use it at scale for any process and any questions that you have and when you want. The day, the night, the weekend, Gemini is always available and happy to answer you anytime. So now just go to action for you. Will you give a try to Gemini, or do you continue to code by your own on your own? As you wish. Gemini is free for you. You have one Gemini account free per billing account. So if you have your personal billing account, you have Gemini free for you because you are the only one to use it. Of course, if you are two or more in your organization, we start to pay for it. But if you are a single user, feel free to use it. Personally, I'm totally addicted to this product. I won't be able to go back to develop without any assistance. It's like developing without any IDE and to take a simple text editor. It's impossible right now. And when you use Gemini, it's now impossible to do without code completion. Like Gemini is not the only one. You have also Copilot and other solutions in the market. But because I'm on Google Cloud, Gemini is a natural usage for me. So I would like to thank you for your attention. I will be happy to answer you some questions if you have now questions. If you have some questions later, you can find me on Twitter or on LinkedIn if you want. Don't hesitate to add me some questions. On Twitter, my messages are open, so don't hesitate. On LinkedIn, I accept all the invitations, so feel free to add me. I will be very happy to answer you and to help you. I'm also pretty active on on Stack Overflow. Also, if you have some questions, maybe I will answer you on Stack Overflow. So feel free to do it and to ask me. So now let's go back here and check if there is some question. No, I don't have any question in the chat. If you want to raise your hand or to chat or to don't hesitate. If not, I will let you 5 minutes to sleep, to cool down, to take a break and to take a drink before the next session.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. They are going to connect with you. Please, guys, if there's anyone with questions, please send them in the chat box or also raise your hand if there are any questions. This was so insightful. Thank you so much, sir. We're looking forward to having more of this if it's possible next time. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for hosting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for making time for us. We know you're busy, so thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Um, this puts us to the end of this. It looks like there is a question in the touch box. How Hello Mosete is asking, like, is it good to use it for assistance? Oh, may you please just unmute yourselves, how Hello, and then ask your question because.
Yes, I understood the question. It's good if you have assistance, but it's not good if you are dependent on it. Yes, I totally agree. But it's also the natural way that we will use the AI in our day-to-day life. Yes, it will be a natural adoption. Today, yes, is expensive if you are in a company, but I'm sure in the coming years it will be free. And as I said, it's like today when you are using an IDE, you are using VS Code or IntelliJ, you are now dependent on it. Are you able to go back to a simple text editor? Not sure. And in the future, it will be the same with AI. So now it's only the beginning, so it could be expensive or not really accurate, as you can see in my demo. But I'm sure in the future it will be, and we won't be able to avoid it. But the developer will be still here. The developer will be more efficient, but we still need developers to test to be sure that the machine is correct and so on. We won't disappear.
Thank you, sir. Any other question before he leaves? It looks like we're good. Everyone got everything, and then we're going to work on everything that you said. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Have a good one too. Bye. So this is time for our last speaker, who is Mr. Oprakash Yadav. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce the name well. He's a developer advocate at 12 Labs and also a previous AI engineer at Saga Labs. So he's going to have a talk with us as well. Welcome on board, sir. Seeing that you've joined us from morning till now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Wait, I'm sharing the screen. Um, yeah. Yeah. So today we'll be discussing about like exploring the world of large language model with Keras NLP. So we'll be more focusing towards like as per we by the previous two session we got to understand about the development part about using Google Cloud for that. We'll be exploring more into the how you can use the open source models to make use of or to fine tune them for your domain specific task or for a research perspective mainly. So we'll be doing hands-on by assessing the model via Kaggle. Uh, yeah, so Keras NLP, so it's like as an a module of an Keras which got introduced recently, like from last year in Keras 3.0 version. Yeah, about myself, like I majorly actually work as a research in deep learning and applied generative AI, and I like to participate into hackathons and judge the hackathon. Um, and like my research work is mostly around predictive policing and time for. So starting the session with a quote, as which is a kind of Keras quote, as progressive disclosure of complexity. So what does this four word means is Keras NLP helps you to build simple applications simpler, but at the same time advance application into us in a simple way. So we'll see to this like how easy it is. So what is actually Keras NLP? So it's like all the text processing and NLP development tool, or anything where you are dealing with the text or wanted to build around the text use cases. If I talk about text use cases like sentiment analysis or text classification or question answering and anything related to text, if you wanted to work around, you can make use of the library. And like it contains the entire NLP development cycle. And also like the best thing is, as you can see, various models come up like every week, every day, even open source models. So you can just load the preset weights of that model and can directly assess to that without being additionally configuring lot of stuff. So main features, if I talk about of Keras NLP, is everything is in a modular component, so you can make use of it in a very easy manner. And it contains like state of the art preset weights and the architecture, so that it's like one line of a code if you wanted to assess any open source model without being like thinking of the compute resources and other stuff. uh, it's an extension of like core Keras API, which is like in a Keras 3.0, this Keras NLP is built on, and it's like it is easy to customize. I guess at this moment, every one of you know about what is LLM. So I would like to skip a part of this. As we have gone through many, like everyone have been used like Chat GPT or Gemini and all this. But if I just wanted to summarize it a bit, so it's like a, a model which has been trained on a very large language data set or the corpus, and it can be used for any use case which you can think of. Okay, so LLMs are not only about language right now. Like as the main purpose when it was built is to provide the next token, to have it in a grammatical format and providing it in a correct generation. But now it is also helping us to understand about the proteins, about the intrinsic hidden details which were not able to be identified before, or writing the software code. And like there are like lot much stuff which are very complex and not only related to language, but there are like lot much of an complexity which has been hidden. uh, and why each and every organization or company is trying to get on with the LLM? The reason is, uh, it changes the way how we interact with the data nowadays. Like if I just give an example of how data analytics was working traditionally, is people used to write the SQL query predefined in a backend, and as per that the data fetches. Now there are organizations who are prompting with and having a conversation with that database, and the plots gets generated. So everything is getting more dynamic. The way of interacting with the data is becoming more easier, more uh, we can say elaborative, and easy for the user. Also, it can find pattern and connection in a very massive data corpus, which enhances the experience at the same time. And why? And other reasons which benefits is, you don't need to train the model right from the scratch. Like you can just make use of open source model or any enterprise model. We'll discuss about what is the main difference between all this. And like there is like no zero training data which has been required. So if you are planning to fine tune the open source model, the major thing comes up uh, is preparing the data set in a very proper format. Training model is now like not a complex procedure. Having a set of correct data is very important. And and the second thing is to actually design prompt in a best manner. So in first session, as we have discussed around the prompt designing and all. So how does LLM actually work is, if I give the input like to sleep well, okay, what would be the next word after that? So the neural network which works in the language model will try to find the next token or the next word which should be there after well, which should be grammatically also well, and also should make sense about the sentence. So here is the probability which you can see. Should there be 0.02 probability with bread, 0.25 for cake or dress or game or salad? So you can see to sleep well, here is you are, which is getting as per the most probability this word should be there. And as per that, we get the generator X. So this is how actually the LLM works. It tries to find the next, and as per that, it completes the this whole sentence or the reply. Uh, so if we just have a look around LLM and LMM. So what is LMM? So LLM is, you can think of it's only about text we are dealing with, right? LMM is you are dealing with the multimodal, large multimodal model where we are dealing with image, video, audio, or any other multimodalities too. Let's say that there is any other type of a measurement or a 3D seismic data, anything which you can say as a data to be. So after having a huge impact of LLM, now the major research is kind of getting focused towards a large multimodal model. So I would like, I've also included this part to give a more exposure about what is going on right now. So here you can see in 2021, the clip and DALI is like all like this is like image generative, for the clip is for retrieval, and then blip comes, then the DALI 2 imagine, this all are like image generation. And at the same time in 2022 you can see chat gpt comes up, but after that llama and all other model came up. But in 20 after 2023, in 2024, I guess it's in the next slide, more multimodal model came into the picture. So these are the these are like the available ones are in dark and unavailable ones are in the purple color. You can, or we can say which are like enterprise models. So you can see Gemini here, and Animal, which is of Meta, or Cosmos One, or Palm E. So these are like enterprise, but you can see there are a lot much of a work which is being done till now. Specifically, if we talk about the large multimodal model, but still, you won't be familiar with much of the model. You might have only heard about GPT-4 Vision or Gemini, which are like kind of enterprise model, or Claude also works for that. And currently Llama 3.2 is like kind of which got released last week, which is like kind of open source best multimodal right now. So why why like what you think is like having lot much of a model which has been built till now, but still there is like kind of no usage into the industry or no much of an awareness around this. Still everyone is focusing on LLM because the thing is multimodal would provide more personalization to any use case. So if any use case is trying to only consider the like text, so they can recommend on the basis of the data point interaction with the content or image or video or audio, anything like that. So more modalities means more personalization, we can say. So multimodal AI is like not future, it's like everywhere right now. And if I just like to point out, so uh chat gpt or GPT-4 vision have been like integrated, like, or you can just generate the image also into the Bing chat. Claude is being used for analysis and content generation. You can just provide the image and ask about the analysis or to generate a content around that from image. There is Palm E, which is being used in robots to understand and execute the complex instruction. Adobe Firefly makes use of these tools for image generation, editing, or you need to remove any person, or wanted to outpaint the image. So there are like lot much of a functionality of editing which has been added into Adobe. And they're like Meta uses it for social media content understanding, and as per that do the recommendation. Flamingo is like kind of very old multimodal, open source multimodal, I can say, which is being used for image captioning or question and answer visual. So it's like you provide an image and then you ask a question. So this simple task can be used in a various use cases. We'll see to this like what various use cases, but we'll understand that. Then Clip, which we discussed earlier, Clip model was developed by Hugging Face, which is like available open source, and it is used for image search and classification. So let's say when you have a like set of images and you wanted, you can just query it like by just writing a simple English prompt and it will just fetch that image. So it's a part of a multimodal retrieval. And this is Samsung. Like nowadays you might have seen the craze around S23 and S24 because they have integrated Bixby vision model, which can uh, which enhances the visual search by interacting with the component or the entity which has been displayed on the screen. So these are like all the uh, use cases of multimodals or LLM, multimodal LLM, which we can see right now. And there are like, if we talk about the architecture in which it has been designed, multimodal LLM have like no, like there is a kind of no standard architecture of this model. There are like 4 to 5 architecture, and still this is a kind of an open challenge to build a proper standard uh, architecture, because Clip have a different architecture, Flamingo works on different, some works on having a multimodal architecture different, then LLM used is kind of different, and then they integrate. So there are like multiple things, or some have like kind of both merged into the transformer, which is the Bixby model. So there are like kind of still in an open source open challenge to look on for. So you can just write in chat box like if any use case which you think you have encountered and which are using the model around this. uh, yeah. Next we'll go to, wait one. Yeah, next we'll go to the what are the problems, like why still having like lot of research which has been done in this, but why still it is not been used into industry till now, and why very few organizations have taken it into the account. Because if you will just explore the use cases of this models, you can see it can fit into every sector, every region. Okay, so this, there are like few problems that I have taken out. Okay, with the proper labeling of, like, here you can see, is the door of the truck open? So you can see here the truck door is open, right? And here it is not. But when it has been asked to GPT-4 Vision, Gemini, Lava, and this and Chat, so they all provided like incorrect, only the Gemini were like kind of correct. And the question was more around positional and relational context. Okay, about the position and how any component is been related to the different component. So second, let's see. So are some fruits cut open or are all the fruits uncut? So you can see some of the fruits here are cut here, this kiwi and this orange, but here there is like uncut fruit. But still, none of the model were able to identify it in a correct manner. So the state and the condition. So if someone wants to use this type of model to identify the defects of the in the manufacturing process or anything around this sector, so there is still needed to be refine the model particularly for that. Here the next use case, you can see how many trees are the tree house built on. So this is like one, you can see the stem, but here is like one, two, three, but still only Gemini were able to provide the correct answer though. Which was the category of presence of specific features, whether it is or not. Next, you can say, is the rabbit in the image facing left or right? So here you can see it's left facing A and B is like right facing, and none of the model were able to apply it in a correct manner. So the problem which we can see here is the model doesn't see the image, right? It understand the uh, pixelates these small, and as per that it can't identify this use cases if we see. So next we can see the next problem we'll understand like with more with this is, do you see any window in this image? So we can see there is a window right here in back, and there is no window here. So only Gemini were able to still like outperforms better than other model, uh, which is the main problem of not identifying the small details. Only the component or the entity is like very big enough in the image, then it is like identified. And this is kind of one more use case of identifying any object or from CCTV, or let's say if there is a packet of any product and you wanted to just get the information from. And nowadays people are using multimodal large language model for the OCR purpose also. So here you can see the these two posters were provided to get the text happy Easter. So here GPT-4 Vision and Gemini works well. So it is for to retrieve the text in image. Still, the OCR kind of has been used or works very well with this models, which takes on the image and retrieve the text of that. But still, we can't rely more on that because it works for English. Maybe for different languages there should be need to be fine tuned or different model would be needed, so it can't be used for multilinguality. So the standard OCR techniques or the machine standard OCR techniques like PyTesseract and all would be official for the same. uh, and this is the last, which is the semantic correspondence. So understanding of the relation between the two images is also important, right? So here you can see in the image one, it's like the handle is like kind of one, which is of left, right, and then the second image, it is asking what functionality or correspondence it refers to. So the answer should be like B, but the answer the Gemini gave is C and other gave D. So that's why here we get to understand there is a problem with two images having semantic correspondence with all this enterprise model. So enterprise model are like being trained on lot much of an billion of parameters, so it knows like lot much better, and it performs much better than any other open source model. And still, it is like kind of in a stage where experimentation is going on, finding a use cases around that. So you can look for any use cases, experiment with it, how does it work, whether it provides a good result or not, and can look for the research side or develop, like you can just explore and develop it still in a very initial phases. So I just wanted to had some discussion around this so that uh, you can like explore more ideas on it. So this is like very good tweet which I got to see, which talks about with these pairs we construct the multimodal visual patterns benchmark. uh, Here the author wrote, and including like GPT for vision, they are asked like straightforward questions around the visual patterns and all. And what they got to know is the human accuracy of this was 95%, in Gemini was 40%, in GPT for vision is 38. So these are like kind of close. And other models like Lava, here you can see on Instruct Blip, which are like kind of open source, which is like kind of performing the less. And so there are like lot much of scope which has been needed to understand or increase the accuracy around the same. So yeah, that was all about the multimodal that we discussed. If you like have any question, you can just add it into the chat box around this. Uh, so if we talk about the generative AI framework now, so there are like Keras, um, which we are basically making a use of today. There are like Lamini 2, then LangChain and Llama Index. I guess there are like lot much of a support to be used, and LangChain and Llama Index being used in industries, in production right now. But we'll be discussing about how Keras is like kind of very easy to handle and fine tune the model. So we'll see two hands-on exercise around that. First, will be just assessing the uh, Gemma 2 billion parameter model, and how you can just assess it. And second, we'll just try to fine tune it with the Dolly data set. So which improves the conversation capability of the model, because 2 billion parameter is too less. Like if we talk about GPT 3.5 or 4, it's like kind of 1 trillion parameter, so it's like lot much. uh, yeah. So in Keras NLP, it's just a bit of a snippet just to make you aware of how easy it is. It's just like this much of code you just need to predict, or to classify. Here you can see the model variable is taken, where BERT classifier dot from preset. The model is been called. The model name is BERT base. En means English and uncased. And here the model is compiled. Then the data set has been fitted here. You can see by just dot fit and dot predict. What an amazing movie. A total waste of my time. So two sentences are been provided. So it will classify whether it is positive or negative or neutral, first and second. So it would be like positive and this one would be negative. So you can see how easy it is. Like by just writing a few 5 to 6 line of code with Keras NLP, you can just train or fine tune the model on the preset weights and can just predict it. And if we talk about the text to image, here you can just directly call out like stable diffusion, and provide just the image width and image height and model dot text to image, and provide the prompt here as photograph of an astronaut or astronaut riding a horse, and it will provide the image. So you can see how easy it is. Like by just small snippet you can just make a lot much of a difference. uh, so here it is like the text classification that we were discussing is like how does this snippet work is you just need to first import from Keras NLP dot models. So Keras NLP is a huge umbrella, right? So there is a models submodel, and in that there is BERT classifier. So we are calling that BERT classifier and loading the preset weights. Okay, with the number of classes we want. Let's say I want only positive and negative, and using the activation function as softmax so that it would be based on the probabilities. So if the probability goes like a below 50%, so it would be negative completely, and above 50%, so it would be positive. And here I will compile the model and dot fit this data set so that it would be trained specifically on that data set. uh, and after that, like, we'll predict it on this, and here we got the result. As per the result, it provides for the, so this is the negative and this is the positive. Okay, for the, and this is for the first uh, sentence. So you can see what an amazing movie. So this sentence seems to be very exciting, right? So the negative scoring which we got is 0.004, which is like 2 less, and the positive scoring we got is 0.99. For this sentence, a total waste of my time is 99.7% or 0.997, and the negative and the positive one, we it is like 0.002, so which is like kind of opposite sentence, so that's why it is in this manner. So you can see how easy it is to get the result here by prediction. So any doubt here till now? Like, we can discuss on, you can just write in chat. So you can see how difference it makes by just few lines of, you can just build anything. Like, you can just uh, write some of the more processing steps and can result in a label format. Okay, this sentence is like positive or this sentence is negative. So yeah, now we'll discuss on fine tuning. So fine tuning is very major component. uh, so let's understand with this illustration. Let's say this person is a head of an organization, or business, and the vehicle is a business, let's say. Now they have integrated the LLM, which are the tires, but they were unable to make a smooth run with the uh, vehicle because of the square shaped tires. So the problem here is, the any model can't be fit into any organization or in any business. Let's say if I just talk about the law enforcement agencies or an organization, and there are like lot much of a documentation work which is being done there, and they actually need there are like lot much of requirement now getting towards to have LLM model which can save their time and make them more productive around the same. But any model can't be used for the same, because the legal terminologies in each country and each legal terms have a very different meaning and very different uh, components, so that the model need to be fine tuned on that specific data for that purpose. So fine tuning is very major component here, which actually helps the model to be fitted into a very specific domain for the very specific use case, so that it can be used in a very proper format. So we'll be discussing about fine tuning, as we will be fine tuning the model today. Um so let's take this example. Okay, let's say, just ignore this part, ignore this right now, and we'll focus on this first. So here you can see, let's say there is one person who is having some of the symptoms of swelling, allergens, redness, and irritation. And that person, instead of going to the Google to get the most appropriate answer, the user wants to talk it to the LLM, and the LLM provide the answer as probably acne, or do consult with doctor. They provide you with the appropriate guidance and treatment options to elevate symptoms. So it provide actually the two word answer only, like acne, and also not being much of an confident about this, because saying it as an probably acne, and discussing about to discuss with doctor. So this is like kind of making use of any LLM into any department of, let's say I'm using it for a dermatologist or a healthcare department. We can't use it directly, right? So need to be fine tune this model. And for fine tuning, we can use like diverse skin type or condition data or dermatology data specifically, which have an understanding about the skin or skin diseases. And then after that the LLM would provide in a very better sense, like you have a mix of non-inflammatory acne and inflammatory popular style stellar acne. So it like provides a very concise and the accurate response for the symptoms which has been provided. Still, healthcare is kind of very critical for LLM to be made use of, but reducing the hallucination and making it accurate and more concise or precise would help to be adapted into the critical sectors. So this is like one of the use cases of fine tuning. Next, like there are like lot many uh, sector, like legal is one of them, healthcare is one of them. There are like financial or fintech is other domain where the LLMs needs to be fine tuned as per that. Um, so so there are like lot much of a domain any domain which you can think of. Specifically if I talk about protein is kind of very interesting sector, chemistry is very interesting sector where LLMs are still finding the way uh, to not only like generate text but to find the complex relationship between the molecules and the interactions. So yeah, like you can just kind of think of any sector and LLM and can find any interaction around that. So having an understanding of any other sector also like helps very well to go on with it. So why fine tuning is needed? So we already understood it, like why fine tuning is needed. But if we just talk about the few points which should be taken into consideration is being specific. Domain specific means healthcare is a domain, right? So it kind of made it more domain specific, more dermatologist specific. Also it helps for the production usage, it can be used very easily for the production, so that it means it is kind of robust and won't break while working. Uh, so third is privacy, and fourth is like stop hallucination. So if you don't know about hallucination is if the model don't know the correct response, it would just generate random token, right? Because if we just see it in a very upper level, LLMs are token generator models, right? It will some or the other way generate anything which is a hallucination. So restricting it by making it aware more about the domain would help to stop hallucination. Or there are like other ways to with or connecting it with the web or internet so that we get the relevant information, and after that LLM would provide us. So this is also to make use of it. uh, Also like reduce the unwanted information, because it becomes very specific, right, for a domain. So unwanted information is kind of removed here, and it provides the greater control uh, to be used in, and increase the consistency of the response. So as I told, like it became robust, so the consistency increases. So if we just talk about the fine tuning, so the major thing comes is you need to have a large label data set. And whenever I talk about like or we used to talk about the label data set, we're talking about supervised data set. Okay, so that it trains very well. And so and also like there are few questions which we should be kept into the mind is your task related but not identical to the original pre-training task? So there is an understanding of if the model has been chosen, that model has been trained of which kind of domain or task, or which task you are trying to make out of it, so that it understands well about that. Also at the same time, the computational resource limitation, this is like the major things that we should discuss on is like if you are trying to fine tune any model, there is a need of the resources, compute resources like GPU and all, uh, which kind of uh, becomes a major blocker for any organization to go for it. It is because dedicating a lot much of a compute resources for the training, and it takes like lot much of a time to train the model. uh, and also like the data set, like how the data set has been prepared, the format is also a task which is to be looked onto. So yeah, that was all about the LLMs that we discussed, then multimodality, and then fine tuning. We have not discussed much on the prompt tuning part, as we have already seen in the previous sessions. So we'll directly jump to the hands-on right now, uh, and we'll see how easily you can assess the open source model. And wait a second. I will just share the notebook. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I will share it in the chat box. You can access the notebook there. So this is the first notebook which we will be discussing, which is basic Gemma 2 billion parameter. 1 minute. Yeah. So wait, I will just share that screen. I guess this notebook would be visible to you, and I have also added it into the comment section. There is one thing. So anyone of you who is like not familiar with Kaggle, like you can just try it in a chat box, and we can also look on to the briefing about the platform. Uh, you can just try it in the chat box. So like Kaggle is a platform where you can find the computation, you can find a model, you can just add a code. And the reason why I have chosen Kaggle for this uh, session is assessing the model from the Kaggle and also making use of the GPU, the compute resources of the Kaggle for the training purpose. So that if you don't have the compute resources, you can just directly make use of the Kaggle for the same. So here the major thing is you need to go to this, and here you can see when you will go to this Gemma model. We'll share this in the chat box. Okay, I guess it's not visible on your side. Wait. So yeah, I have also shared this Gemma model in the chat box, which is on Kaggle. Here you can find a button of permission. You just need to click and authorize to get access of the model. Okay, so it would just take few seconds. Just go to here and just take the permission of using this model, and then you can run the notebook. So I will just go to the notebook right now. If like doubt regarding accessing the notebook or anything, you can just try it in the chat box. And now we'll just start focusing on this. So I will just go to editor, and if you wanted to run here, when you will open this link, there will be copy and edit button here. So you can just click on that. For me, it's like edit. So after going on here, I will just check first uh, what I am making use of. Let's say I will choose GPU T4 NVIDIA 2 times. So it is free because Kaggle is a community platform. So it provide like 30 hours of compute resources freely. And if it exhausted, it will get renew next month. So there is like no payment and anything like indulge into this. So now I have selected the accelerator at GPU T4 NVIDIA into 2, and here I guess I need to bit maximize the screen. Yeah. So now what we will do is we'll just install the few of the libraries, which is for the Keras NLP and Keras 3.0. So it's running right now, and also will import Keras and Keras NLP. 1 minute. It will take like few seconds. Next, you can see the Keras backend, and Keras backend are like kind of various types. TensorFlow you can use, or Torch, or Jax. So Jax actually helps to get the uh, best way, or we can see it speeden up the task also. We're taking it in a Keras backend, and so we'll use that. Okay, now we have imported the necessary libraries. Now the task is to import this. Here you can see the model which we have seen earlier was Gemma 2B EN. 2B is the 2 billion parameter which it is been trained on, and EN is English. So we are as via Keras NLP dot models dot Gemma casual LM, and loading the preset, all the weights of that model. So you can see by just one line we can just load the model. So it would take a bit time, and dot summary would provide us all the details of the model, of how much network it has been trained on, what is the backbone of it, how much billion parameters, what is like output token, input token, and each and every detail about the weights and the internal parts we'll get to know by just loading the one line and by just making use of dot summary. And also you can see in the right hand side in the model section, you can see the repository of the model and the model which is been getting uh, assessed. So here you can see models, and here you can see assets, config metadata, model.weights.h5, and in assets you can see tokenizer and vocabulary.spm. So yeah, now it's got loaded. You can see all the details of gamma tokenizer. Vocab size is 2 lakh, and here you can see the number of parameters, which is kind of around 2.5 billion parameters approximately, and all the backbone and architecture and everything we get information from here. So now let's say I will just ask a simple question of what is meaning of life. Uh, as it's a 2 billion parameter, it doesn't know much of a thing. Okay, it's very basic right now, naive right now. So need to be like trained on for the specific use cases. Because like if you see the enterprise model, there are like 1000 times, or around more than 500 times bigger than this. So here you can see the response we got for what is the meaning of life, as the question is one of the most important question in the world. It's the question that has been asked by philosophers. theologians and scientists for centuries. So it just provide the description about the question rather than answering the question, right? And kind of seems very repetitive format. The question is one of the its question that has been asked. The question has been asked by people who are, so you can see it's kind of the vocabulary which is being used is very less in the format which it is providing. And if we just search for this, how does the brain work? So let's see for this. So now it provides the brain is the most complex organ in the human. It is responsible for controlling. So it provides in a best way, but you can see the vocabulary. So that is the brain is made up. So the output token also got ended up in a midway, as it just provides the brain is made up, and the brain is also possible. The brain is, so you can see that it is a kind of using the similar pattern. Also, the reason for this to the output token was the max length here, which has been provided. So if we just change the max length as any other, so it would just provide more. So if I just write here, let's say 82, and we'll run this. So how about what we are doing right now here is providing the multiple prompts or multiple query into one hit. So it would generate the list of response as we have provided list of queries here. So it will take bit of a time, and yeah, it's logging also all the thing that we are currently interacting with it, because it's making use of the model which is there on Kaggle. So it's providing what should I eat the breakfast in Bangalore. So so it provides the description around that. I am a vegetarian and I am looking for a place where I can have a good breakfast. I can have a good breakfast. I'm looking for a place where I can. So it's like repetitive. It's not providing us the proper proper response around this. For the brain, it provided me, but for open question, it is unable to do as per asked as life and particular providing the location which is Bangalore and the breakfast. But if you will just ask it to Gemini or uh, GPT about what should I eat during the breakfast in Bangalore, it will provide the dish's name. So we'll see how can we fix this in the fine tuning part. Next, the last part is top K. So there are three things which is taken into account whenever dealing with the uh, models, which are like the configuration parameters. So top K identifies the top it's a kind of a sampler, we say. So there are like two things, top K and top P. So top K takes on the most relevant token around this. So you can find the question is one of the most important in philosophy, but the answer is not as easy to find as it is deeply embedded. You can find, you can see the answer right now is very different. And if I just change this as uh, greedy, I guess greedy is the correct way. Mm, and there is top P. So there are like various sampler which is being used, and it is uh, as per the need of the use case. So it's the question that has been asked by people who are looking for. So mainly greedy takes on the appropriate data, and that's why the result that we got before was very similar to the greedy, or actually the direct same to the greedy sampler. There are like top P also. So there are like various, and one there is also random, which randomly selects. So let's see that also. So random will just take any random token and will construct it. So if there is any creativity application which is to be built, which needs kind of yeah, so it provides what is the meaning of life is a great question. I'm not sure what the answer is. I know that some of the obstacles we face daily can limit our view on. So you can see it's random but grammatically correct. So it takes up it in a very proper format. Uh, yeah. So that was all about the this notebook. Now we'll move towards the fine tuning part. I hope you got to understood about the capabilities and about how easy it is to work with this. Now we'll see how you can fine tune as per your own use case, or if you're working on any where you would like to integrate it. So how you can do that. I will just make the second notebook public and we'll share it. 1 minute. So yeah, I have added it here. Okay, so I can see one question here. The issue on my side has always been explainability. So how can I investigate the reason behind the model's output? Uh, so majorly none of the model providers, or like whether it's enterprise or an open source, none of them provides the understanding of which data it is being trained on. So that's and if we have an understanding of which type of data or which data it has been trained on, we would be easily able to navigate around the explainability or the model's output. So there is only one way to find out is to do the experimentation, to actually categorize it in a various pattern. So let's say you can just write about a famous place or an unfamous place and ask about that to a model to understand whether it captures the geospatial data into consideration or not, and then ask about any current thing or any past thing. So there are kind of experimentation you need to do by taking the different genre and different conditions as per that for the explainability part of any like model. Oh yeah. So I hope like you got the like appropriate answer around that, like how you can work on that. I have shared the fine tuning notebook in the chat box. We'll just directly go there. It would take a bit time to running the model, I guess. Okay, okay, cool. So won't be able because it would take around 1400, 1500 seconds, which is around it's like lot. So we'll just go through the code. You can just directly click on copy and edit and can run at your machine. uh, just to be sure that the Gemma model is like the permission is been in an allowed format, and at the same time uh, the settings in a settings you need to in accelerator mode. Wait, I will just show. In the accelerator you need to have GPU T4 on so that it would just save a lot much of a time and would enhance the efficiency of loading stuff and all. Rather it would take a lot much of a time to generate the tokens or to load the model. Yeah, so here you can see a lot much of similarity you would find from previous notebook. That was a basic, this you can treat as an intermediate notebook. But it's like not much, you will just get it very easily. So first we'll just import. Okay, we'll not run this, there are like predefined output I have. So because it would take more than 20 minutes to just load or train it. So here we have just imported Keras NLP and Keras 3, then the JAX, and for memory fraction, the client for the process that we are using, the pipeline, this environment has been configured here. Then we have imported Keras and Keras NLP. Now we are making use of data of Databricks Dolly 15K. So if you know, Databricks is a kind of a data cloud platform, and they built a chat GPT type model, which is Dolly, which they say is like kind of the conversation which you take carry out on chat GPT can be carried out with this, and they open source the data set, which is Dolly 15K. So we'll be making use of this data set and we'll fine tune the Gemma model so that we can carry out the basic conversation around this. If you wanted to make a chat bot which can accurately uh, which can accurately have a conversation and provide the proper response around the same. So what it's just like importing the JSON, then on Kaggle input this data has been loaded, which is in a JSON format. But the most important thing during the fine tuning is it having it in a very proper format. So what format it has been used is instruction, then loading the instructions, and then response, and then loading the response, so that we have the labeled supervised data. We have the question, which is instruction, and we have the response, which is an answer. So after loading this data, we have loaded only 1000 starting data for training. The reason for that is it is just a demo purpose. You can train it, but you need lot much of a compute, lot much of an hours uh, running your machine to get it trained. So that is the reason, like, I have currently taken only 1000 into consideration. Now, as per previous book, we'll just load the model Gemma to be English. So it's Keras NLP dot models dot Gemma casual element from preset, just loading the weights, and Gemma LM dot summary. So there are like kind of warnings that we can see here, which is like kind of wait, yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. So next, huh, Keras. So here you can see this is why warning. Okay. I need to go back. I guess in edit it's showing like this. Yeah, summary. So here you can see the summary as this, and gamma casual, the same thing, 2.5 billion parameter and all. So in this way, like, you can see how easy it is to just load the model and can take the details around the same. So next here is, let's say we can just build a prompt template. So this is like kind of standard way when you just need to use Gemma LM dot generate as a kind of a function, and can just change the prompt template rather than writing that line again and again. So here the instruction which is been provided is, what should I do on a trip to Europe? Okay, and you would be sure says, take a trip to Europe, and it provides that only for 256 max length. Previously, we were discussing of 64 max length. So here you understood like a kind of an explainability that it doesn't know about the Europe or geospatial kind of understanding about that specific area, and that's why it works very kind of text generator rather than having a brain understanding of the context around that, because it doesn't have a context of Europe. So this is the main problem. Second, explain the process of photosynthesis in a way a child could understand. And it provides the explanation as photosynthesis is a process by which plant use the energy and all. You can see it provides the response in a better way. But it is because of the max length is 256, it should have provided more brief and more in a child friendly manner, but it just provided the information which is kind of uh, definition for this. And after that it extended the same with multiple same paragraphs. So this is kind of two problem, and we'll try to fix it. Okay, so how we can fix it is, there is a term in fine tuning which is LoRa fine tuning, which is low rank approximation. So here what we are doing is the backbone dot enable LoRa rank 4. So here we have we did the enabling the rank 4 so that some of the parameter get freeze, and so we can fine tune it. And now after enabling the LoRa reduces the number of trainable parameters significantly from 2.5 billion to 1.5 1.3 million. Okay, so the number which we can train parameter right now is 1.3 million, so that it should not lose all of the property of the model, but few of the parameters should get fine tuned. Okay, so that it don't lose uh, the the data which it has been trained on, or the speciality of the model, we can also say. So here we can configure the sequence length as 512, then optimizer as learning rate for the gradient descent, and weight decay, how it should work on the each iteration around, and dot exclude from weight decay as bias and scale. The major component comes here is this, or like this too, which is dot compile. So here we write like loss keras dot losses dot spark categorical cross entropy, and using the optimizer. So optimizer, what is been said here is Adam is being used for an optimizer with the learning rate. This you can just this is also kind of an experimentation of which works better for the learning rate or for weight decay. There are kind of uh, approaches where the learning rate also changes or get decays. So there are like various methods to be used. Yes, uh, depends on data and the specific need for it. Then weighted metrics to get accuracy. So what it provides is it would provide the loss and the metrics of the accuracy. And as per the this is for an only experimentation purpose and for a demo purpose. The epoch which has been taken is 1, and batch size is taken as 1, and dot fit to the model. Now after just writing this code, the model would get trained on it, and it took me around like lot much of a time, around, if I just calculate, so it's more than like 15 minutes it took. So here, after I write the prompt template at what should I do on a trip to Europe, and dot generate, here you can see now it provides very good result, as Europe is a great place to visit. It is a continent with a rich history and culture, attracts. Then also it provides Barcelona, Rome, and every country bit detail, and also about music, art, and provide a very elaborative, still concise response talking about trees and all. So you can see a lot much of a difference has been made just training it the few by just tweaking few of the parameters and training it in a few data. So you can think of training it in a proper data would make a so much of a large difference, and by just this much of a data, this much of a code even. Then for photosynthesis, you can see photosynthesis is a process in which the plants scan sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. That's the concise answer for the same, which is kind of more appropriate to it. So you can see how easy it is and how it actually tackles the problem and make it you like great by just small steps which has been taken for the training. So you can use this notebook for the training purpose, or if you have any doubt we can discuss on it. uh, I guess there are few things which has been left. 1 minute. Yeah, I will share the, I guess I have shared all the resources here. There is GitHub repository where I will put on the notebook. I forgot to add the QR code. I will right now share that. And yeah, that was all for the session. You can reach out to me on a LinkedIn if you have like any doubt or wanted to discuss on something, or yeah, or if you have like any doubt, you can ask.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We've learned a lot, and also I'm happy that some of the questions were were asked, all of them. So anyone with other questions, please just ask before he leaves. So questions are welcome.
Yeah, here I can see one question like, to fully understand how it works. Things like why does it give wrong answer and why does it give correct result for the data we have trained it on. Yeah, so it doesn't have an like information about that. So as per our last notebook which we have seen, we can see it doesn't have a knowledge about the Europe. And when the Dolly data has been provided, which kind of covers all the all the data in a very abstract format, everything which has been covered. So that's why it performs better by having a more understand or context about that region. So like we can only answer it about by just having an interaction with the model, with the data, because right now there are like very few open source data set for the training currently. Like lot many organizations are still pushing, but Hugging Face and Kaggle you can find the data, and there they provide the domains. If you will just go to the Hugging Face repository for any data set, you will find they used to write the domains, which domains it covers up, so that uh, you can just find out whether it works best for your use case or not, so that it will provide the correct results. I will share I have shared all the notebook links here. I will also share my PPT if you want. Uh, Mostly, I used to push all my PPTs in this repository. So, in few minutes, I will just add for today's presentation via creating the session title as a directory name. Yeah, I have added it into the comment box. If anyone have a doubt, like I am still here.
Thank you, sir. Any comments? Any uh compliments? Just if you want to say anything, you're allowed to do so, because we're about to end our today's Keras Community Day. So you can say anything you feel like saying. Thank you so much for joining our today's session, and all thanks to our speakers today. They really did a lot for us, and they made time in their busy schedules. So we appreciate you, and thank you so much. We are looking forward to more sessions, to more collaborations in the future. So we appreciate you, sir, as well. So have a beautiful day.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope it was insightful.
Yes, it was. It is insightful. It was, and we really learned a lot, and we feel like everything is clear now. We're just a growing ML community, so we're still learning. So thank you so much. Yes, I can see that people. We have a message from Kato Makweji. Thank you. He thanks for for your presentation, and also how hello is also thanking you for your presentation, as well as Mr. Juan Carlos. Thank you so much, sir, as well. You've been with us from until all the sessions, and thank you so much. And then Mr. Tito Mafandri saying superb presentations, meaning everyone is satisfied. So we can end our meeting today. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.